Yo, stay wavy TV, ride the vibe with me, splash through your screen, drip clean like the sea, high tide energy, never on mute. From the sound, let the motion move you.
Keyonte George is low-key the best point guard in the NBA. He kind of reminds me of Steph Curry. I would call him Steph Curry 2.0. But the thing is he's actually, I'm not going to say he's better than Steph Curry, but he has the potential to be better than Steph Curry because he does things that Steph Curry doesn't do. Like, this kid can get damn near 10 rebounds per game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Steph Curry is not known to get over 5 rebounds a game. You know what I'm saying? So let me give you guys the numbers of his last 7 games, bro, because nobody seems to be talking about this, okay? 31 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 24 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 34 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 37 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 39 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. This kid gets buckets. He just hit a game winner on the Detroit Pistons. You feel me? Like, Keyonte George is him, bro. And the scary thing is this is only his 3rd season in the NBA. Keyonte George is only 22 years old. He was just drafted back in 2023. So this kid hasn't even hit his prime yet, and he's balling out. This is his breakout season. He's currently averaging 24 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists a game, and he's shooting over 45%. So he's not just scoring a bunch of points. He's accurately, consistently scoring a bunch of points. He's doing things that your favorite player is not doing. He's playing better than Ja Morant. He's playing better than Steph Curry, right? The only point guard in the West that's not better than Keyonte, that's better than Keyonte George is SGA. Keyonte George is better than Jamal Murray. He's playing better than Jamal Murray, right? But unfortunately, because he's on an unpopular team, and because the Utah Jazz don't really have a good record, he's getting underlooked. Like, he's not getting talked about the way he should. Like, Keyonte George should 100% make the All-Star team this year. But you don't see them talk about him on First Take. You don't see them talk about him on Club Shay Shay, right? You don't see Skip Bayless talk. You don't see none of these big analysts that cover the NBA. You don't see them talking about Keyonte George. And it's not surprising because his team is number 12 in the West. He's on one of the worst teams in the West. On top of that, the Utah Jazz are one of the most unpopular franchises in NBA history. Like, think about this, guys. When's the last time that the Utah Jazz had a superstar on their team? I would have to say Deron Williams and Carlos Boozer. That was years ago. Right? The younger generation don't even know who Deron Williams is. Deron Williams got buckets. Carlos Boozer got buckets. You know, I'm talking about Carlos Boozer that was bald with the beard, not the Carlos Boozer that went to the Chicago Bulls and put the Beijing in his head. I ain't talking about that Carlos Boozer. Okay? But Keyonte George, bruh, this kid gets buckets. And he has the baby face like Steph Curry, where when you look at him, like, you wouldn't think that he gets busy like that. Because he like, if you look at him, he looks like he has the face of a high schooler, bruh. You know, light skin, not really no facial hair or nothing like that. You know, got the pretty boy look. But this nigga's a straight savage on the court, bruh. He gets buckets, he gets busy. And he's only going to get better as time goes on, right? Now, if you're the Utah Jazz, what you want to do is you want to do everything in your power to build around this kid, because this Utah Jazz team is going to be really good in the future, right? You know that the Utah Jazz, they are going to continue to get high draft picks, which is only going to make the team better. And I think their team is going to be just like what the Oklahoma City Thunder is right now. A team full of young guys that got drafted, right? That eventually get better as time goes on. And they're going to be a championship team. You know what I'm saying? Now, you could try to, you know, get a superstar on your team like a Giannis, but think about it, guys. Giannis is not going to leave Milwaukee to go to Utah. right? And you know what's crazy is Utah is actually a very beautiful city. Shout out to Salt Lake City. Very beautiful city, man. But it's just not a place that players want to go to intentionally because, you know, it gets very cold in the winter. You know what I'm saying? And Utah is not a diverse state at all, man. Like, it's actually, it's not diverse, man. Like, Utah is actually known to be racist, right? Like, we've heard a lot of things about racist Utah Jazz fans, right? Where they're calling people slurs and stuff like that. But when you look at the team that they have right now, you have Lauri Markkanen, who in my opinion is probably the most underrated center in the NBA. I think he's a great player, right? You got Kevin Love, who's in the last chapter of his career, but Kevin Love has actually been having one of the best seasons he's had in a long time this year. You got Nurkic, who's one of the softest centers in the league, but Nurkic is a center that can score in the paint. He can occasionally shoot threes, but he doesn't really have that defensive presence in the paint. You got Walker Kessler, who's solid, right? But this team is full of people that are young that you just don't really know about, right? Like Isaiah Collier, Bryson Saba, like who the fuck is that, right? Like there's a lot of players on this team that you never even heard of them, right? You got Kyle Anderson, you know what I'm saying? So this team has to improve the roster. Like I said, they need to continue to make good draft picks. And if they can just get, you know, even if you don't get a big name player, just surround Keyonte with players that can, you know, benefit the team as a whole. You know, get him a big man that can consistently catch alley-hoop dunks and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And this is a team that will be a championship team. It's just going to take time. I would say within the next 2 to 3 years, I would expect the Utah Jazz to hopefully be a championship team. The problem is they're in the Western Conference. If this Utah Jazz team was in the East, they would at least be a playoff team. But because they're in the West with teams like OKC, the Denver Nuggets, you know, you got the Lakers out there. You got, you know, there's just too many competitive, you know, teams out there for this team to really do something. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at the Western Conference right now, guys, let's look at the top 5. You got OKC, you got San Antonio, you got Denver, you got the Lakers, you got the Timberwolves, you got the Rockets at number 6, you got the Phoenix Suns, who's a sleeper team at number 7, right? I can't see the Utah Jazz, you know, beating any of these teams in a playoff series. And as of right now, the Utah Jazz aren't even in the playoffs. They're number 12. So, you know, we don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs this year. So we'll see what happens, man. You know, I think the Utah Jazz should go get Klay Thompson. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Keyonte George's playing style fits having Klay Thompson on the team playing shooting guard. Because if you're Klay Thompson, all you got to do is just come in and knock down some threes occasionally, you know? But we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully Keyonte George makes the All-Star team this year. Let me know what you guys think. But the reason why I compared him to Steph Curry is just because the kid just gets buckets, bruh. Like he just takes over the game, bruh. Shooting threes, you know, getting to the paint. You know what I'm saying? Like, now he may not be a consistent good three-point shooter like Steph Curry, but the same way Steph Curry in his prime would just drop 30, 40, 50, just knocking a bunch of threes, Keyonte George does the same thing, bruh. There was a game earlier in the season where he played the Lakers. This man, Keyonte George, he had I think 5 threes in the first half, bruh. Like, I'm telling you, bruh, like this little nigga, bruh, like, he's Steph Curry 2.0, bro. He just does things better than Steph Curry. He's a better rebounder. And yeah, that's my thoughts, man. So let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Wavy, Stay Wavy TV. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up. Yo, whoever would have thought that in 2025, whoever would have thought that Keyonte George would be outplaying Ja Morant? Like, do you guys remember when everybody was saying that Ja Morant is going to be the face of the NBA? Ja Morant has had a horrible season so far. He's missed the majority of the games due to injury, like always. He hasn't improved his three-point shooting. He's barely dunking anymore. And it's kind of looking like Ja Morant is it's almost like he's hit his ceiling. And Ja Morant is only like 26, 27. Like what the hell is going on with Ja Morant, man? Keyonte George at 22 is playing better than Ja Morant, who's in his prime. That's sad. It's your boy Wavy. I'm out.
Yeah, welcome to the vibe. Stay wavy in the mix, got the culture on the rise. Tap in, hit subscribe, ring that bell, let it ride. We gon' surf through the trends, give you game every time. Reviews, new views, keep it honest, never fake. If you're looking for the wave, this the channel you embrace. Stay